Hello and welcome to Raymies Garage. Another wee job we've got on the Range Rover L405, and this time we're going to look way down here, and there's an error code which I'll show you in a second. Is exhaust gas recirculation temperature error. I think it's low or high, I can't remember, but the sensor is away down there. I'm going to take some footage with my small endoscope to look at that in there, and I'll have a look at the part I've bought. Give us the angle. So the angle's pointing towards the front of the car as far as I know. I can see just the cable there. I'll maybe try and zoom in on that. See the wee white mark on it. So okay, let's get some things disassembled and we'll get into that to see if we can get anywhere near it. Give us the angle. So the angle's pointing towards the front of the car as far as I know. I can see just the cable there. I'll maybe try and zoom in on that. See the wee white mark on it. So okay, let's get some things disassembled and we'll get into that to see if we can get anywhere near it. So this is another diagnostic tool we've got. Just try to get the light away from that. It's a generic one because Apprentice Pat's got the IID tool. We'll get the ignition on. I'll do a diagnostic. I have done this before. Okay, so go to system selection, engine control module, read fault code. So there it's there. Exhaust gas recirculation temperature sensor A, circuit high. Right, so we try and get this off. Get these ones off here. Right, get these off. I'll just take this off for now. See what size of socket that is. Now, if I remember correctly, one of these are actually broke. Underneath where it's came away. I'm sure I put my hand up the last time. How did I do that? Well, I'm just going to take it off and it will drop and I'll get it after. Yep, there you go, did you hear it? And these ones under here are quite awkward if I remember. There you go, this camera's immediately not working again. In there, I think we'll strip that in there as well. So take this fill out here. That allows us space into that. I don't suppose that's a 13. No, I didn't think so. Probably going to get a wee bit of fuel about here. I'm as well changing the filter while I've got it open. Right, that's the two. We'll put them in my tray. That's an air suspension pipe. That's that one. And I do think that should come up here. Now there's two pipes on here. There's a bracket there if I remember. Yeah, that's that one there. Right, I'm going to take these pipes off so I shall get something to catch any fuel. Electrical connection here. I've just loosened that for the bracket there. I haven't actually taken the connection off. Lets me see it now. Strange one. Alright, let's see if we can get it moving. There is a connection on the bottom of that. Oh. Doing this the wrong way. There's a wee clip there. That's it. I'll get that one off now. I'll get that down there. And this spins off, I think. That's that cable off. Now this is the water and fuel hose. Well, that's the fuel filter off, and we shall take that into the wee shed. So I'm just trying to remove this bracket here, which is turning out to be a bit more difficult than I thought. This is the bracket that holds on the fuel pump, and there's a small earth wire here. It's a 7mm bolts on it. So it's going to take us some time just to take that off. the size of that. Just getting my hand in here. Let's just. Right, okay. Now, do not lose that tiny wee bolt. I better put that in my tray right away. And the idea is to try and get this bracket here, and that's what was holding me, that wee tiny bolt. There's a wee bolt in here. It's a wee earth strap. And there's another bolt in here I just want to get out. Although it does feel quite tight. Ah, it's that bracket there. So it's a bracket. I'll show you that in a second. It's holding that one. This is what I was doing here. So this bit here is wrapped round with that bracket and holds on, and then this wee earth wire here is holding me up. So now I can get a bit more access to the actual connector, and if I go right down there, I don't know if I can see that, but I'll put the light down. So we are. It's hard to do it with one hand and pull at the same time, which I've just done there. There you go. So it certainly looks like the correct cable I've bought. So that's that. So if you follow that cable, we'll see that. So now I'm going to try and lubricate that. Recommendation to do that, a couple of days, but we'll see how we go. Let me get the light on it. So this is the heat shield. Let's see if we can get the sensor. So you'll see where the sensor is sitting deep in behind the heat shield. I'm just going to try and move that a wee fraction. Oh, that's not great. There. So you'll see that bolt to the left of that sensor. That bolt there, and I think there's another couple. There's one there and one below that. They look like maybe 8mm, but they are deep down there. And if I can get these three off, which is the only three I can see, I can't see any in there. There's one. That's that one I'm looking at. That's that one there, and is the nuts down there. I don't even know if I'll be able to reach in there. I should be able to. So we'll get the wee tiny socket set, and we'll put a wee, looks like an 8mm. We'll try and get that heat shield off. Okay. It's probably got one more thread to go on it. Let's see if I can find it with my finger. I'll touch it no doubt and knock it out. There you go, that's number one. How am I going to get the other two out? It's definitely moving, but it's tight. I'm just hoping there's only 3 of them. It's definitely moving. Yeah, I got it, got it. Now the last one's even deeper than that. Try and feel for it. I can't see it, but I can feel it. Let's see. I actually feel slack if I'm touching the right thing. I don't think I was actually. I don't think I was. Right, try again. I think it is actually slack. So let's see if that's. I don't fancy putting these back in. Yeah, it's certainly coming. It's coming. Come on, don't fall, don't fall. Got it, got it. Ah, must be another one. Oh, hold on. No, it is moving, it is moving. There must be another one, there must be another one in there somewhere. This is just jammed up there. So as you can see, I can't see one. It's maybe just getting stuck on something. Can't see what's holding that up there. I can. Yeah, I think there's maybe another one at the bottom. However, you can see I've got it far away enough. Hopefully we can see that. It's away from the sensor. I think there's one more at the bottom I just didn't see. Let's see if I can get my tool on it. The sensor removal tool. Get that cable out. Yeah, I think I'm on. I think I'm on. I'm going to leave that there now. I'll go and get the camera. I see the camera, the endoscope camera. And we'll have a look down there. Right, okay. Let's see what we can see. There's the sensor. Yeah, I think I'm on it, to be fair. I've yet to turn it now. I would like to get some lubricant in there. So yeah, so let's move that back a wee bit there. So that's a better view. So looks as if my tool is on, because I've just pulled that heat shield away a wee bit. Doesn't look on, but it definitely feels on when I'm touching it. So right, okay, let's get some lubrication in it. This rain's starting now here in sunny Scotland, so we'll get some lubricant on that and we'll let it sit overnight, and at least we know now we can get the sensor on it, and we'll give it a wee turn maybe tomorrow evening when we come back from our day job. So this is where we're at. I've devised this straw-like device so as I can put in the WD-40. Hope we can see that directly in behind the nut. So I will be honest, I have been doing that for a day or two just through other commitments and time. So every morning or every evening I just get a wee squid of WD-40 in there. I'll bring that out. So it's just a wee long bit of tube. Worked really well. The other problem is I've got the sensor removal tool, not the JLR one, probably a cheap Amazon one, and I'm finding that it's wobbling inside there. It's not got a great grip. It's a 3/8 drive. I do have another one, but that will not go in at all, just with the angle where the sensor is. So I've got a 13mm socket. I've cut a slot out. I'm just about to try that to see if it fits in there. I don't know if we'll be able to see very much once I get my hand in. Let me try. I just got to get it by that hose. Well, that feels pretty good actually. And so that's fitting okay. My problem is, you can probably see, is getting leverage on it just to crack that open, and what I don't want to do is to round it off, but that feels an awful lot more solid, and I'll tell you the reason why. Pull this out, because this one's not got much depth into it, and probably poorly made as well, but this socket that I've sacrificed, it goes the full length, so I think the full length of that 13mm socket's actually biting into that, whereas that one seems to wobble about a wee bit. So I shall pull this up out the road, and we'll get a 1/2 inch ratchet on that, see if we can crack that open. So I've got the socket on. Let's try to orientate this a wee bit better, and I'm just checking to see if the socket is in position. It looks actually okay. Let me just try and record that. Yeah, so I've no SD card in it, but it looks like the socket, let's see if you can see that, let me try again. Yeah, so there's the socket in that side, so we'll get that turned off. As you can see, the problem is I don't have much room to manoeuvre that at all. I can't even get a grip in that. I wonder if I can come back a wee bit more and get it here. Let me take that off. Right, let's have a go at that. Pull that off. The whole thing's coming off now. Okay. So I've got another wee longer extension on that. I think this one is going to be too long. I really do. I'll try it anyway. I'm not doing anything, so I do apologise if you can't see much in there. I can't see much either, to be fair, but yeah, it's too long. So I'll just leave that in there. I'll have to go and try and get a wee bit, make up something shorter than that. So my next attempt is a kind of a stubby ratchet. I mean, I can get leverage and it feels solid, but the problem is I can't get my hand down there. I wonder if I could put a wee wobbly bit on that. I'll try that next. So that might be enough length on that. Let's get that in there. I think I'll take that wee extension off there. Right, let's see how much space we've got now. So we're in there, we're in. Just at the wrong angle. So I've got a 3/8 to ½ inch on the Milwaukee Impact. I'll see if I can just try to give this a wee jag. See if it can loosen it off a wee bit. The problem is I can't see if I've got a hand in there. Let's see. I don't think I could get any more extensions on that. So let's have a go. I don't want to do is round it. I think I've already took the cable there. Bugger. I don't know if that's working. Twisted the cable there, which is not good. I could probably just chop that off, do you know that? Sensor's knackered anyway, I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, so I'm going to chop that cable. Yeah, so I'm going to chop that cable. The cable is the other end of it, so there's no turning back now. Oh, still struggling with this. Not only did I cut the wire off, I've actually cut this off because I think my bolt's getting not the best grip. Let's see if I can get down there and see that. So I want to basically try and get a decent socket on that so I can get a better grip on it, because you can probably see that it's starting to round a wee bit, and if that rounds it means I'll let manifold off. We don't want to do that. So let's see if I can get a socket, or even one of these sockets that grips it and turns it, and hope we don't rip it off. So here we are again after much of ado, and I think I've actually got it. It's not great video on that there, hold on. So I've got one of these nut extractors on it, and I think it's turning, so we'll just keep going with that. I'll try and get you guys in here. It's certainly turning. I must admit that's took me about an hour. It certainly feels like I heard it crack there. We will try a wee wobble, a bit tight thing on it. Probably can't see a thing down here. I couldn't find it because it was staring me in the face. Right. Right, that's that in. This will be too long now. I think we'll take you off. I must have tried about 40 different combinations of extensions and flexible bits. Right, let's see if this will move. Right, so I think I've got it out. There's obviously a bit of the sensor stuck in, so that's the nut. So now I need to grab that sensor inside there. A wee pair of pliers, I can see it just sitting there. I'll put you down there and let you see that. What we've got is the sensor sticking out, so I need to try and grab that in some manner or form. So this is the other one. I think it's sticking here, and I don't want that bit to drop in there. So remember, I've snapped that off right about here. In fact, I'm going to go and get that other one, see what it's like. Yeah, so that's the one that's come out. Try to look at the size of that. It's probably in a good bit actually. So I'll need to get a good grip of that and pull it out. Right, so you can see where the sensor is, and that bit sticking out is where we've snapped it off, and the small kind of grommets in that hole in the exhaust manifold, probably stuck in there. So I'm going to let that soak overnight, get a wee scoosh in the morning, and we'll have another go at pulling it out. I'll try and get it from the side to let you see the... Yeah, that's it. So that's the bit I'm trying to grab onto here. I just hope it pulls out. If that gets stuck in there, we're in a bit of a dilemma. But we'll let it penetrate through the night, put some WD on it, and let's hope for the best tomorrow. Well, that's us back at it the next evening. I just had a wee touch at that there, and it's quite slack. I did have my WD-40 penetrating that, so I did manage to catch it with these wee pair of pliers, and there we go, got it out at last. Let's have a wee look down. Let's see if I can get the camera positioned in there, and I'll get the stethoscope or the boroscope in there. So that's us managed to get that out, and what we'll do is we'll get the old one and we'll sit it beside the new one to compare it size wise. Now, I have been criticised in the past because I've said let's try and compare things like clutches, and I got pulled up by a viewer, a Mr. Gallagher, who wasn't happy that I didn't show you the comparison between the two clutch plates, but I will show you the comparison between the two temperature sensors, and hope that satisfies Mr. James. So we'll move on, and I'll get the wee camera endoscope in there and we'll have a look and see. Right, so we're going down to the hole to have a look and get my angles right, and there we have, I'll just try to pull that back a wee fraction. So there we have the sensor out, no damage. I maybe try and run a wee thread chaser down those threads just to maybe clean them up a wee fraction. I'll show you that. So this is the space we're working in, just to give you a perspective. It's a way down in there. You can probably see the camera lens moving down there, and that's where the problems arise, is the actual space you're working with. I think I could have taken this part off here, and we probably could have took this off and that off, but we're here now, so let's move on to the next phase. So this is a side-by-side comparison of the sensor, and you can see I had to break that and chew this up, and I did get it out eventually. This bit was stuck in here, but an overnight soak. It is quite a delicate sensor, to be fair, and this is what I used, one of these nut extractors, to get that out, because my two tools for sensor removal tools just wouldn't cut it, but that certainly did the trick. Took me a wee while, but there you are, Mr. Gallagher. I hope you're happy with that comparison there, that I've said it and I've done it. So I'll just now try and get this one in. Well, I can't get my thread chaser in it, so I'm putting an air line just to blow anything out I can see in there. Drop copper grease on that part. I'll let that slide in. A wee bit on the nut. That should be enough. And we'll get this slid into position. Right, here we go. It's a matter of feeling it, I think. I can't even see it. I do apologise for not being able to see that. That's in position in the hole. If I can feel it and just maybe start turning it a wee bit. I might manage to get a wee tiny turn on it, but I don't think it's lined up properly. Holding the camera at the same time. I do apologise, I couldn't really video that because it's so difficult, but I've got the camera in and it looks fine. I've got it nipped up. I'll maybe look up the top specs for that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get any more on that. So it is in position. I'm just trying to give it a look at maybe the side angle on it. Looks okay. Don't want to over tighten it, but that's the new sensor in. That's a better view now. In position. So we'll get all that put back together, all the connectors done, etc, and we'll get the hopefully the car started, and we'll see what that trouble code looks like when we try and take it off the tool. So we've got the cable back in position. It was quite a job actually. It was again difficult for space to film. There's a connector there. cable runs down. There's two wee clips down here, one there, one about there. That just holds the cable into position. And the next thing I need to do is just try and push that plate over. Now I have bent that a wee bit, so I'll just have to mess about with feeling for this to get it back into position again. So I think it goes under that. That goes in there. That looks a wee bit better now. I was just trying to see if I can get these wee nuts to line up. I see it now, I see it now. Bend it a wee bit. I think that goes in behind that pipe. That looks like it now, not far away. I've got the wee screws in, setting the one in. This side's certainly working, certainly lining up, so I'll go get the wee screws and see if I can line these two up. I'm putting the wee plate back on, the wee heat shield. I just wanted to let you see what I've had to do here. A wee block of wood there, jamming it to keep it into position, because I've obviously bent that. A wee 8th drive ratchet on it and a bungee holding it into position, so I've managed to get these screws on there. I've got one more to get at the bottom, the third one, and it's probably the most difficult one, and it's getting your arm down here twisted to the right position, but I've got it on. If I can't get that last one on, well, hey ho, we'll live with that, but I'm sure I'll get it on. That's us back at it. I've got this wee plate back on. Bits fixed in here, all the wee cables on. I put a new seal in my fuel filter that goes in here. And that goes on like so. Reasonably tight, and we've got a wee sensor that goes on the bottom. Looks like a wee earth actually, and that whole thing drops down in here like that, and I think I'll put my hoses on first. So that one goes there. There's a wee clip goes on that. Tell you what though, it's awfully tight, isn't it? That's going on there. This one. Let's try to manoeuvre these into the right position. Let's just have a look at that. So we've got all the pipes back in on the fuel filter. We've got it connected electrically. I'm just tightening up these wee bracket bolts for the fuel filter. Then all we've got is a couple of wee bits of plastic trim and get all this back in again. For that time we can maybe give it a go. Why is this sticking for me all the time? So it's a new fuel filter I've put in it. I thought I'd just change the fuel filter while I had it all out. Right, so we've got all the fuel filter pipes connected, new fuel filter in there, all the hoses back into place, all the wee screws and electrical connections. So we're just ready to start the car. I'm going to put all this plastic on later on, just in case I need to take it all back off again. So we'll get into the car and I'm going to cycle the ignition a few times to just prime the fuel filter. Okay, that looks alright, nothing spewing out fuel anywhere. So I'm going to go into the dashboard and have a look and see what lights we've got on. So there we go. We've got a red triangle. Because the bonnet's open and we don't have any other fault codes. So let me just press that. Okay, tailgate's open as well. So let me get the scan tool on it and we'll see what fault codes come up then. Right, so get the scan tool on it. Okay, diagnostics, into history, Land Rover, let's connect to that. Right, system selection, engine control module, read fault codes. I do expect some call fault codes. Didn't expect that one right enough. EGR temperature sensor circuit high. That's the sensor we've just replaced. So it is. So let's go and see if we can clear that. It does now say, let me just go back to that, read fault codes. It does say in this intermittent, whereas the last time it said permanent. So we shall go back. Clear fault memory. The DTC cleared success. Now this is a big test. If this comes back on again, I'll have completely wasted my time. There you go, no fault codes. So replacing that sensor has taken that fault code away. And every single Land Rover or Range Rover I've worked on has had that fault code. And that's what it is, it's to replace that sensor. Back first. Right, okay. Let's go back and we shall just do a full health report on the car. And we've got no codes, although this is a basic reader. I'll get the IID tool on that later, but that's the first time that fault code has ever been away in this car. So that's a success. So all that hard work was worth it. So we'll get back to rebuilding the front of the car. so a couple of other wee jobs to do. Get the under tray off, replace some of these bolts. I'm not sure why that's not lining up, but pretty pleased with that. I've had that trouble code on that car since I bought it, and every Range Rover, as I said, that I've looked at has that trouble code on it. And to let you see, this is where the sensor is. It's right down there, in that position down there. That's why we had to take all this off there, and it is quite awkward but doable. So that's us for now. I hope you enjoyed that video. I certainly enjoyed making it, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers for now.